So there's no doubt that a lot of people like The Last of Us, and of course, when The Last of Us 2 was announced, people made a big deal out of it. Oh, I can't wait. It's another reason to own a PS4. It's another reason to own a PS4. It's going to be out soon, etc., etc. Well, this story might change your tune. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here. Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. And by the way, you can thank the man with the million, Randall Thor, for the title of this video. He was the one that thought it up. So, thanks, buddy. So anyway, Naughty Dog have been, according to this interview, which was with the Daily Star, and I will link this in the description so you guys can check it out. They were doing an interview. Communications director for Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was speaking about the Uncharted development and what comes next, and part of the discussion broached the topic of what might come after The Last of Us 2 wraps up, at which point Meyer had to step on the brakes and point out that The Last of Us 2 wasn't even at full production. Naughty Dog has always been a one-game studio, moving from one project to another and only splitting teams during the transition between. Uncharted: The Last Legacy threw a wrench in the Naughty Dog's process, growing from what was initially supposed to be a DLC project into a standalone game, but it's Naughty Dog's newfound willingness to take on many projects at the time that is leading the question about what comes after The Last of Us 2 this early. But Mayer wants to make it clear it's too early for those questions, and here's what he had to say. So we can pretty much say the whole studio will be focused on The Last of Us Part 2 once this is over. At some point, parts of the team will try to figure out what's next and how that goes when The Last of Us Part 2 is in full production. So based on these comments, it's safe to say that some developers are still finishing up work on The Lost Legacy, while others are ramping up for The Last of Us Part 2. But the resources necessarily to deliver a standalone product were greater than a DLC, and so The Last of Us 2 team is left waiting. He goes on to mention that even after Uncharted: The Lost Legacy ships, The Last of Us 2 development might not be running at full speed. A lot of people went straight from The Last of Us, straight into Uncharted 4, straight into The Lost Legacy, and those guys need a vacation. So basically, the way that he's talking about this is that this game could be quite a bit of ways away. Then again, the studio is, they do have a lot of people. So he says, because we started really early on with The Last of Us Part 2, it'll take a while for people in the studio to figure out what's next, where do we go next, and which projects we want to think about. So if you're holding out for Uncharted, you could be waiting some time. So yeah, basically, again, the whole thing for me is Sony shows off these games to get people excited, and they are literally years away. I'm thinking that this might not even be a PlayStation 4 game. This could be a PlayStation 5 game. Same thing with Death Stranding and some of these other ones, and Sony kind of does this. So I do look at this as misleading and kind of tricking people into buying their console, because a lot of people will use The Last of Us 2 or Death Stranding as reasons to own a PlayStation 4, and they're not even probably coming to the PS4, or they'll be backwards compatible or something like that. But to me, this game screams 2020, and just like Death Stranding, like, I don't think those games are coming out anytime soon, yet they showed off some CGI stuff and people freak out and talk about how great PS4 is, and I just have to disagree. I don't think the PS4 is that great. They've managed to come out with a handful of good titles this generation, but they basically have to lie to people and show them things that are so far out in production because they've done such a piss-poor job at actually getting their games out. And this is just another example of that, where they show this game in 2016, and when's it going to come out? Who the hell knows? None of us know. So it's definitely not going to be anytime soon, and it could very well be PlayStation 5. But I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about this. Let me know. Sound off, comment, rate, subscribe. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer